You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, I would say you have to be completely blind if you did not see this coming, but Nike just had its most horrible day in the history of its company from a value standpoint. Now, look, I don't think it's a coincidence that the NBA and Nike wrapping its arms around far-left politics around the same time. It's funny. You're seeing the decline of both the NBA and Nike around the same time period. Fact is, I don't know anybody anymore that buys anything involving Nike. There's a lot of reasons. You can look at the embrace of China, or you can look at the fact that they hired Dylan Mulvaney as a women's sportswear spokes dude? Question mark? Or how about Colin Kaepernick? Maybe paying him a bunch of money to walk through his street and talk about how oppressed he is, even though he made $20 million for just sitting around. We could all hope to be that oppressed. Well, maybe Nike feels oppressed today because they lost $28 billion in one day yesterday. The bloodiest day. We will call this a bloodbath in Nike history was yesterday. They lost nearly 20% of its share value and $28 billion. Nike shares on Friday tumbled nearly 20% after the company said expected sales to decline in its new fiscal year, the latest sign of severe turbulence at Oregon's biggest company. It was the biggest one-day drop in Nike history, wiping out roughly $28 billion in shareholder wealth. Even before Friday's tumble, Nike stock had been heading steadily downward after climbing above $170 in November of 2021. Shares closed Friday at $75.36. Wow. Under CEO John Donahoe, who started work in 2020, the sportswear giant bet heavily on direct sales and popularity of Nike classics like Air Jordans, Dunks, and Air Force Ones. The move away from wholesale opened shelf space for competitors, including Hoka and On, who have gained momentum. Thursday night, the company said the demand for, quote, lifestyle sneakers like Dunks is slowing more than previously expected. We were surprised at what we saw on these larger franchises as we were navigating through the quarter, Chief Financial Officer Matt Friend said on a call with Stock Analysis. So, we'll go from OregonLive.com over to Breitbart. Yeah. And you see that right here. And you see Colin Kaepernick on the billboard. Believe in nothing, even if it's a lie or whatever that cringy commercial was. Sales were down 2% year over year, driven by an 8% fall in direct-to-consumer sales. The company appears to be losing market share to competitors who have done a better job of staying on top of consumer trends, not alienating customer base by embracing far-left political causes. Exactly. Year-to-date, shares of the athletic apparel are down 29%. Wow, that's brutal. Absolutely brutal. Nike's aggressive push into direct-to-consumer sales has been costly for the company, as mainly consumers have shown a preference to returning to in-person retail shopping in the post-pandemic era. The company, like many tech firms, made the mistake of thinking the rapid shift towards online purchases seen in 2020 and 2021 would continue. It cut deeply into the number of traditional retailers which it sells its products, initially hurting those stores, but eventually costing it market share. So when they moved out, Other companies moved in. Wow. As well, Nike had become politically toxic to many conservatives who have sworn off the brand and pushed school and club sports teams to find alternative apparel makers. You know, that's something we never even talked about or even thought about, is they're wading into political waters. What did they think was going to happen? All these coaches, all these parents, all these teachers that are that lean right started pushing the schools out of the Nike business. Yeah, very interesting. Breitbart News reported last year that in a bizarre, divisive move, Nike women selected Dylan Mulvaney to sell sports bras and leggings. The company was under fire for its association with anti-America race baiter Colin Kaepernick. Quote, when Kaepernick took the knee against our national anthem, and I'm a huge, huge military supporter, that's what my foundation is all about. And for Nike to jump on board and reward this guy for that and the things that are going on, I told myself I was playing in today's game. Former Yankees pitcher David Wells said in an interview with Fox business host Maria Bartiromo last year, he had a Nike jersey. I taped it up and I cut a hole in it. That's right. I did a video on that. 4 days after George Floyd's death was caught on video, Nike released an ad attacking America for racism. Quote, don't pretend there's not a problem in America. Don't turn your back on racism. Don't accept innocent lives being taken from us. Don't make any more excuses. Don't think this doesn't affect you. Don't sit back and be silent. Don't think you can't be a part of the change. Let's be part of the change. That was a bad move. Calling your customer base a bunch of racists, yeah, that'll cost you a lot of money, and it looks like it ultimately will cost you $28 billion all in one day. Guys, for years, we've been telling you there was a reckoning coming for companies like Nike. Disney has long since been experiencing it. Is Nike going to go the same way as Disney? I mean, are they going to pivot, or are they going to have to just start firing everybody? By the way, Nike's already laid off people. But, I mean, Disney went as so far as to get rid of 7,000 employees as opposed to change their political direction, which they still have not, by the way. They still have not. And they released a film just a couple of weeks ago, a children's film. There's no politics in it whatsoever. There's no wokeness in it. And by the way, it's their biggest hit in I don't know how long. What does that tell you? Get out of the politics business and get off the teat of China. That wouldn't hurt either. Wow. I mean, we knew this day was coming, and here it is. Nike it's a bloodbath. $28 billion gone in market value in one day. Guys, we're talking, that is Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch. It may be worse. It's worse. I mean, this could end up being epically, long-term, extremely bad for Nike. A lot of people end up losing their jobs while they try to, I ain't even going to say course correct. I don't know if they're going to be capable of doing that. I don't know anybody. Look, people, I was a big Nike. I purchased a lot of Nike stuff. No, I'm not wearing Nike now. I'm not. I mean, that's Reebok. It's not happening. Not spending money on Nikes. And every family I know is that way. Just cut it right out of there. Sorry. Tell me what you think. As Trump said, it's a bloodbath. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.